it says it's live.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. I don't see it in Astral, just FYI. I see it on YouTube. Oh, here it is. Okay.
I see it on YouTube.
Woohoo! Good morning. You're amazing, Christopher. Thank you.
Good
Making that
morning.
happen. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. Hey, Nicole. Good morning. Hi. We miss Laura. So we are the
Come
fill-in.
back to us, Laura.
She's probably flying right now, right? We heard from her before she left and everything was going smooth. She's been sharing photos along the way. Hi, Pamela. Good morning. It didn't happen yesterday. Michelle, what didn't happen yesterday? There wasn't a live stream yesterday. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Laura, travel day.
Yeah. It was a quiet day. We missed you all. Hello. Yes. Well, we're here for the interim, and we have some wonderful guests that I'll bring on every morning at 10. We'll just keep it to an hour. Some friends that you've met before and some new friends. So just wanted to come on and say good morning to you and see how everyone is. Good morning, Daniel. Thank you, Pamela. Well, hi, Bree. A happy day. Exactly. I hope it's sunny where you are. I hope you get a little bit of sun. We're in upstate New York, and sun's peeking out the last couple of days. It's like, oh, I feel so different. I am solidly sun activated, like I'm sure many of you can relate to. Snowy England. Oh, stay warm. I'd like a good snowstorm, though. I have to admit, I would love a good foot of snow.
We usually get one in March. It just comes through and dumps, and one last winter attempt.
Michelle's, oh, it's going to be 78. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Good. Michelle's in Hawaii, so.
Oh.
It should be 78.
Right.
Oh, Michelle, can you share a link to your Etsy? Is that are things now up and ready for purchasing? That would be great if you shared that because
Michelle's in Florida.
Oh, wait, why did I make up that she's in Hawaii?
Both are warm places.
Okay, Michelle, I solidly had you in Hawaii.
They both call themselves the Sunshine State, and Florida won.
Oh, no, okay. So Nicole, you're in San Diego. See, it takes me a little while to solidly connect the dots with friends and locations. Okay, got it. So you're out near Kim Beekman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be doing some live things, some live Power of 8 groups in your area. So I hope you get to go to that. It's okay. Hawaii's nice too. Yeah. Yeah, everybody, you want to check out Michelle's beautiful pendulums on her Etsy page. They're absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so we wanted to this morning share with anyone that may be watching new or for the first time. This has been streaming into the Soul Apprentice as well. And we wanted to share a little bit about some of the upcoming offerings in the Divinate on the education side this week, because Christopher, maybe you could speak a little bit to free membership month.
Yeah, it's membership month, but let's back up a little bit. And I'd love to connect with the why that the Divinate community exists. Daniela, you speak, I've heard you say that the spiritual journey and the healing journey are synonymous. Can you explain what that means and how Divinate is part of the answer to that?
Yeah. Oh, and I think it probably connects right into Pamela's question. Yeah. So this all connects, Pamela. Each of us here, we're all here because we really long to feel free and empowered, right? That's our deepest yearning. There's a thread that weaves through all of us, and that is each one of us absolutely wants to feel first and foremost free of any unnecessary suffering, right? There's pain, there's suffering, and then there eventually you start to see there's actually a unnecessary suffering, right? That that image comes to mind of the kiddo on the ground and there's like the boot on their head and you're like, and then it pans back and like your arm is in the boot. So there comes a point where along our journey we discover, I have a little more to do with my suffering than I may have been previously aware of. And that is different than experiencing the effects of pain from trauma, right? There are different processes for healing from the pain and the effects of trauma to, wow, what actually is within my being that is contributing to my unnecessary suffering? So I think that's for many of us, the entrance to the stream, the entrance to our spiritual path is actually the yearning for healing. And to discover, as Rumi says, we don't have to go looking around for love. We are really here to discover the barriers in ourselves that prevent us from experiencing love moment by moment in our lives. So I really see that the spiritual journey and the healing journey are completely synonymous. And along the way, when we become really earnest, we know our birthright is to feel free, fulfilled, and fully self-expressed. And that is really the year of 2024, the wood dragon that we're moving into, that energy of freedom, fulfillment, and full self-expression. It's absolutely our birthright to feel that, right? Our whole life experience is our felt direct experience. So we embark on the journey, and part of that means discovering and connecting with really skillful guides who are perhaps holding the lantern up and sharing some missing information that are just a few steps ahead of each of us on a very similar trajectory. So Christopher and I are in our 50s, and over 3 decades, we have, like many of you, along our journey, invested in, wow, I'm in a squeeze chapter of my life. I'm heading inward, going into the inner labyrinth, all the complexities, all the layers. And it's wise to have a Sherpa guide you in uncharted territory. So Divinate really serves as that function because there are incredible, masterful educators that are in Divinate that have been teaching in their field of expertise for decades. They walk their talk. They really know their stuff. And we've brought together under one roof an incredible community for you, for your own healing, for your own growth, for your own evolution. And to lean in where your enthusiasm is, right? Some people like to come to the path of healing and spirituality through the body first, through physical yoga. Some people like to come into the path of healing and spirituality through devotion, through meditation, through mediumship. There are so many entrances into the same stream. And so the beauty in Divinate is it's a collective of educators that are incredibly skillful in their areas of study, that are here to support and connect with you and help you along your journey of being free. And the coolest thing about this is that it's not unusual if you're drawn to your own spiritual and healing path, very likely there's a healer or educator in you as well. And that's one of the greatest gifts. It's like you discover a way to feel free, fulfilled, and fully self-expressed. All you want to do, and you get really grounded and rooted in that, all you want to do is share it with others, right? That's why healers, helpers, and givers and educators exist in the world, because you've discovered something for yourself that you just can't keep a secret. Of course you want to share it. So for me in this moment, that's what the why of the Divinate community and collective is really all about.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, these educators that have come together under Divinate have amazing coursework. They have certifications, they have personal trainings. Many of them cost hundreds or thousands of dollars, and they're giving of themselves to bring into this community parts of their curriculum, parts of their journey, parts of their knowledge and wisdom just to be generous, just to help.
Mm.
So it's not like the Divinate community is only a lightweight sampler of this. The workshops that we have really take a deep dive into some of these specific areas so that you can find something that's really nourishing for your soul.
Mm.
That's what I love about it. Divinate works kind of like Facebook, kind of like Instagram, in that there are posts and videos and comments, and yet the energy isn't of entertainment or passing the time. The energy is, let me go a little bit deeper. Let me understand a little bit more, because all of us here have the same aspirations that Daniela just laid out, and yet we can't think our way there. Right? We can't think our way to that, Daniela, right?
No, gosh, wouldn't that be so cool if it was that simple? We could just think our way to our freedom, think our way to let it go, and it actually goes away, and all those trauma packets just poof.
Right.
No, no, nope. It's steady self-effort, and it's way more fun to do it together. You know, there's an expression that says, if you want to travel fast, go alone. If you want to travel far, you go together. And it's way more fun to do the healing spiritual work in caring, kind community where we can not be lost in one another's stories and actually hold space with love and lightheartedness and relatedness. You know, part of the healing and spiritual journey is really allowing those aspects of ourselves. You know, shadow work is a big term these days, which is amazing because it means really coming into awareness with all those aspects of ourselves that we shun. And the beauty of shadow work is it's not only the parts of ourselves that we would say are icky or we don't want to expose. Shadow work also means embracing all aspects of ourselves, which includes claiming our greatness, claiming our worthiness, claiming our radiance, our luminosity. That's equally shadow work. Many of us are that is almost a little too intense to come into the full awareness of yourself as magnificence. Well, we've got all this other stuff in the way. If that's cringy, then that's a good indicator of, all right, let's reconcile and befriend and bring gently up into the light of awareness with compassion and tenderness and skill. These parts of ourselves that are seeking to feel in the light, because our egoic structure, which is what we all innocently develop as a survival strategy, eventually requires exposure. And that's its biggest fear, right? Think about those parts of ourselves that we're like, ugh. Like that's the stuff that doesn't want exposure. And yet that's where the gold is. That's where the gold is. So to do that work together and to be able to speak safely and more confidently, and in fact, more neutrally about those aspects of ourselves that we feel shame around, that's the gold. And so doing this together in community makes that possible, because once you start exposing and knowing you're not rejected or shunned, you're still cared for and held in a safe space, we build up a stamina and a fortitude to allow that out and be shown to others, which starts to set in motion a domino effect of others seeing, wow, you can bring your shame parts up. That's really inspiring. And it sets in motion for others. You catalyze others longing to be free of that which holds them bound. Pamela, okay, you're a teacher as well. Oh, God bless the teachers here. Yes, in my 30s, my job requirement was be at work at 7:30, and I had at that time one child. I got up at 4:30 so that I had that time in the morning, because I really knew that quiet time in the morning, without being identified as my role that I was playing, I didn't want to be hanging out with my child. I didn't want to be thinking about work. I needed a chunk of time in my day to stay connected to my true identity, because our true identity is not our job, our role within a family, um, being somebody's partner or wife or lover or boyfriend or girlfriend. None of those are our identity. Those are the roles we're playing, parts of our journey. So that morning time, being awake before anyone else was talking to me about earth things, lunches, artwork, clothes, like you name it, boo-boos, all the things. And it was time for me to take care of my body, to move my body so that I could get my energy moving. You know, some of you know that Christopher and I love sharing yoga, qigong. We're really about helping you to find any way of moving your body that brings you joy, right? Because we have a gajillion little channels of light, rivers of light in our body. And each of them you could think of as like little hoses. And if they get kinks in them, you start to feel more fatigued and drained. And when I'm fatigued, I think fatiguey. My inner talk is crummier or lower or complainier. So I knew, wow, the key to my ability to show up for my family, for my children at school, for the parents at school, et cetera, my ability to be my best self means I have to take care of myself first. I have to put myself first. And I did. And it also meant going to bed at 9:30, right? So there's that too. So it wasn't like I was fatigued from not having enough rest. But I think this is really important for moms. You know, and one thing I learned in young momming, and of course we could spend hours talking about how wackadoodle it is in our culture, that we're not supporting moms that are home with children in community. We have pockets of moms momming alone, which is so hard. And moms at home with children are one of the demographics that turns to alcohol, right? That 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, which could become noon, right? It's happy hour somewhere. They're a growing demographic of turning to alcohol and tobacco, because being alone and just being only immersed in that role is really, really difficult. So we have to make some shifts in the way we operate, because this is it's devastating. It's devastating to moms and women, and children are not getting the benefit of what we need to experience, what they need to experience in a greater community. So, you know, if this is resonating with you, and I imagine it probably is, like, there are probably some of you in here that are will be the way showers of bringing in new ways of educating, new ways of familying, new ways of communitying. But that said, so Pamela, to answer your full question, I did that, and I've continued to do that. My 20s, my 30s, my 40s. Right now, I'm sleeping in when I can, because my schedule is a little different, and I'm just in the perimenopause stuff. So I feel like a teenager. Again, I could sleep for hours. I want to sleep in. And I get to, because I have a 26-year-old and a 17-year-old. So I have earned my perimenopause sleep in the mornings. So my schedule, I'm a little more of a night owl now than I used to be. And oh, I love it when the first number I see on my clock starts with a 7.
Hey, you. So Daniela and I, we are program developers. We've spent our entire life as entrepreneurs, as business developers, as marketers, as well as being on our own journey of our own spiritual and healing journey as teachers, as educators. And so for those of you who are healers, teachers, way showers on the way, emerging into this world, there's two different sides here to program development. Program development both means platform and technology, and it also means what is the curriculum, what is the process or processes. And every one of us is in a different place, and we have different interests, and our history is different. And so there needs to be a lot of entry points into the education, into the learning, into the development. So when Laura approached us some months ago and said, look at this amazing community, all of you are here gathering and having these conversations. How can we create a space where we can have private conversations? Because Facebook, Instagram are not private. This is an open platform. So we want a space where we can have private, secure, safe conversations where we're not being monitored, where our data is not being mined for advertising use or other uses. And also, how do we go a little bit deeper in these conversations? How do we create more entry points so that the healing journey, the spiritual journey, the journey of emerging as a way shower, as a light worker, as a healer, how can we actually help? How can we go a little bit farther? And so we created Divinate. And Divinate has two sides. Divinate has a free side. Just like this, our intention is to always keep the free side free and to provide as much rich content, education, community, connection, entertainment even that we can on the free side. And then we have a membership side to support the free side. So the membership side is where the workshops are. The free side has Zooms very much like this. Has live streams very much like this, where you can come and learn and connect. There's threaded conversations. You can post videos. We've just released a new profile builder where you can share more about yourself and find people with like interests and connect. There's private conversations can happen as well as the group conversation, much like here in Facebook land. And then on the membership side are where the workshops are. The workshops are usually on Zoom. So it's a smaller group that can be accessed anywhere, anytime. And you can actually ask questions. You can actually engage. You can be in a safe container where you can start to reveal some of what Daniela was speaking about. And so we love the Divinate platform for those two sides. So those of you, if anyone here is listening and hasn't joined the free side, please come on over, join the conversation. We'd love to have you. It's never a high pressure anything. This is a business about service that Daniela and I have put together, this platform, both the technology and the programming, to support you in your life, to support the emerging of the light as you clear and heal and grow. Some of our participants are accessing ways to share more about themselves through the live streams. And it's just a beautiful space. So we're really, really thrilled and really honored that we've been able to develop this for all of you.
And the educators that are teaching in on the membership side and offering some free live streams in the free side, these are educators that have been, for decades in their field of study, and they've been doing their healing work for many, many years. And so it's really important. One of the things that we can promise you is that our platinum educators, our lead educators, are healed healers, right? It's not as though that you get a trophy for now you're healed, right? However, they are grounded, they're clear, they know how to live life sober. And by sober, I mean be equipped to navigate the full spectrum and range of emotions and what shows up in your life. That's always what I mean by sobriety, is the capacity to be with what is as it is and not need to turn to something to change the way you feel. That you have the stamina and the capacity to be with the fullness and the full range of your human experience. We have a few incredible new offerings actually starting tonight over in the paid side. And this is what ties in really well with February. Is the first 7 days are free in Divinate paid membership. It's only $18 a month. And with that $18, you have access to a minimum of 10 workshops, full workshops, or really seminars, every month. Like last month, there was everything from group hypnosis with Dr. Scott, Siddhartha, live on Zoom where you can ask questions, We have this week, actually starting tonight, Laura Uncensored is in the paid side. So again, for 18 a month, there's at least 10 workshops.
That's an incredible. What's that? $1.80 a workshop?
Yeah, I guess it is. The math.
Well, like less than.
And so you have the first 7 days free. When you join the paid membership, you have access to all the replays of the months prior. It's like mind blowing how much incredible content Laura Whitworth teaches every Monday. I co-teach with her on alternating Mondays. We have living spirituality Q&A. This evening, Tracy Trimble is on at 8:00 Eastern time. Some of you remember Tracy she's the metaphysician who was on, and she's just unbelievable. I'd love to hear if anyone has gotten in and had a session with her, because
it's so incredible.
Yeah, like mind-blowingly brilliant. Is there anyone that's here that did get a session in with her? I know my friend Abby is booked with her, and not until February 22nd. So I was just curious if anyone here had their
all the dates got booked up, so I'm sure.
Yeah. So anyway, Tracy Trimble is in for the Power Hour with Tracy at 8:00. It's going to be dynamite. That's tonight. We have Mediumship Circle on Sunday, and Mediumship Circle this Sunday, it's led by Tia. And Mediumship Circle alternates on Sundays and is open to anyone of any level mediumship, right? So everybody is honored. You could be brand new, never mediumed before, and you will have a fantastic experience, all the way up to somebody that is a seasoned medium will still get great value. We really always have the approach of come to any workshop with the open beginner's mind, because there's always something to learn from someone else. Sometimes like if I listen to Claire, for example, sometimes it's just something that Claire will say as a medium, as an educator, that just is like, oh my gosh, that one thing or that one practice that I did with her completely created a paradigm shift within me and my direction. So we always have, may we always have the beginner's mind in everything, because the beginner's mind is so open, gorgeous, flexible, and absorbent. The more rigid we become of like, I know this, I know that, the more we're going to miss. So it's a really beautiful mindset. What am I missing, honey? We've got.
Well, let me give the rundown is so fun. Like, I'm so excited about this coming next few days, especially
the next 7. This was a great time to jump in for 7 days, because you get there's like a whole variety.
Why did you say 8 to 10 a month with this week? Because we're doing an introduction to membership with the first week free. It's really packed in. So this is what we have tonight. So we're in Eastern time. So we generally speak in EST time zone. So 3 hours less if you're on the West Coast. So tonight we have the Power Hour with Tracy at 8 East, 5 West. Tomorrow is Rachel Chamness, all about Fae and Elementals at 7 East, 4 West. Sunday, Daniela mentioned the Mediumship Circle. That's at 1 p.m. On Monday is Laura Whitworth talking about the different types of entities, which is a really phenomenal way she is just a firecracker full of information.
And she brings a very, very compassionate view to the topic, right? That's one of the things that I really, really love about her way of educating and her way of teaching and viewing life, is that can we greet everything in our power and with love? It's a both and I think that those are really necessary.
And then on Tuesday is the Sacred Heart Workshop.
Yes. Oh, Kim Beekman has a phenomenal workshop next week. Just incredible. A real journey into the Sacred Heart. Many of us, Kim's skills, she's a shamanic practitioner and a soul retrieval trainer and healer. And the space she creates for participants is for you to actually have a direct experience of what the Sacred Heart in your system, your vessel, actually feels like. Because until we actually know that space and our particular resonance with that, what it feels like to abide there, it's still a gorgeous concept. So Kim's skill is creating the space for you to have a spontaneous, direct experience. And honestly, in the spiritual healing journey, until we fill our cup with the direct experience of knowing what we are through feeling, we can't know ourselves. We can only have a concept of I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. So therefore, what remains? What am I? What am I is a far superior question to who am I? Kim's skill is creating that space for you to drop in and actually feel your real identity. Because until you feel it, it's an idea. And you may be onto it like a bloodhound, like sniffing we're sniffing we're on the trail of our true identity. But once you feel yourself as what you are, now you become anchored to that. And now you play the character you are in Earth School, rooted in your true identity, not identified fully with the character you're playing. That's the game changer in your spiritual and healing journey. That is a moment in your life that you could say, this was one of the most powerful awakening moments I had. It's because, holy shit, I just felt what I really am. Not as an idea, but as full sensation. I know myself now. Now I can continue from that vantage point. It's like wearing glasses that are tinted orange. Orange is great. Yay, orange. And everything can only look orange. So she gives you the lens cloth. And then in the travel through her shamanic journeying, all of a sudden you're seeing clear. That's coming into your right mind.
Now, once that moment's there and you want to take a deep dive in, we all here are in the world of self-education. We love learning. We love growing. So let's give you a little glimpse about where this is going, because this is just the platform.
Oh my gosh. Are we about to talk about the thing that I'm very excited about?
This is it. We're about to talk about the thing. So this is just the foundation. When Laura approached us some months ago, Danielle and I have built very large, very substantial online communities in course development in all kinds of ways. So here we are, because what we've got under wraps now is going to absolutely light you up. Go.
Well, having been in the spiritual communities, for decades, I think the greatest thing we can give first and foremost to the world is the healed version of ourselves, right? And again, you get a trophy for now you're healed, right? It's an ongoing process where it's a spiral, not a line, so that we're always in that journey. And that said, what?
You don't get a trophy for it. Maybe we could make a trophy. Congratulations.
No, because that says there's some end destination and there's no more work to be done. There are always layers. There's always we're like one of my favorite flowers. You guys probably love these flowers. Like when peonies open or poppies, you're like, oh my God, it's at full bloom. And then the next day you're like, oh my God, there's more bloom. Yeah, and then you're like, it can't bloom more than that. It's bloomed. And then there's more. And you're like, oh, right. So that we're like that. We're ever blooming and ever unfolding. So many layers. And that's the beauty of hypnosis too, really, to help you to access all these layers. So beautiful flowers that you are. The next level great is as we heal ourselves, as we come into the direct knowing of what we are, now we can start helping others do that. And so to have healed healers in the world, because there can be healers in the world, and this is all innocent. I don't believe for a second that this is there are some fringy people that really are just meh. However, there are healers that are in the world that are very innocently helping others to heal, but not completely from that clear lens, right? So healers can sometimes inadvertently project some of their stuff onto clients, or speak in a way that their interpretation is fact, right? So we really want to help healers, help you, those of you that are on the healing journey for yourselves and wish to be healers in the world and wish to really serve many from the goodness of your heart, to be able to have a degree from a university that really holds some weight. And so many of the training programs that you can complete and participate in here in Divinate will actually be credited into a whole degree program, so that you can exit with a degree in body, mind, soul facilitation. It's like, for example, you could come out with a degree in a year and a half with certified in the body movement of Qigong, inquiry and mediumship, and soul retrieval and hypnosis, right? So that healers that come out of this university, people know, wow, you really went through it. You really went through the rigor and expertise of a very high quality education, and that will carry weight, and people will know when they connect with you. This is someone who really did their training, who really attended to all your layers, and that you are really qualified to help people with their bodies, their minds, and their souls. So that's where this is headed.
And we have early stage of this, because a few of our platinum educators have allowed us to share the courses that will become part of the larger curriculum right now. So today in Divinate, there's 3 different offerings, all of which have discounts for those of us in Divinate. In the free community, you can find out about this. There's the Quantum Qigong course that has just started, and registration closes on Saturday. That has a Divinate discount. A week from Saturday, Lauren and Camille's meditation teacher training is closing registration. So we're in last call for that incredible program. And then Laura Whitworth also has her soul-centered healing hypnosis technique courses listed. So those 3 all have discounts in Divinate. And this is how we're beginning the process of even going deeper than the workshops that are part of membership.
Mm. Yeah, we want to help you bring your gifts out in the world. And you just may know, like, I just know I'm interested in all the things, and I don't know which one yet. So the Divinate membership, which is a free 7-day trial, is a really great place to start, to see, like, there will be educators and topics that you feel such a surprising resonance with. And that's the coolest. You can trust your enthusiasm. You can trust that excitement. You can trust that passion to lead you rightly. And all we're up against is the mind that thinks and doubts. That's it. That's kind of it. Christopher, can you speak to Karen's question in the chat? Karen, we can absolutely help make this so simple for you.
Karen, yeah, we can help with technology. We sent in our little link that we shared, there's an email address and a text. So if you have any problems with any of our platform, we're highly available. And then the membership actually has an annual option as well as a monthly option. The monthly option, the only way that can be accommodated is through a recurring credit card payment for the $18 a month. However, if you join for the 1-year program, it's even cheaper. It's a couple months free, so it's $180 per year, and that can be done with an offline payment. And you could just email.
Karen says that, yeah, she wants to talk on the phone and give a card number, and you could help her with that.
Yeah, only for the annual payment. For the monthly payment, it needs to go through the platform because.
Oh, Kat, I love the place that you're at. Kat's sharing, I don't know what my gifts even are. This is so interesting. This is one of my favorite, like, oh my God, what you just said just had me feel so happy. Oh my gosh, you have like a blank canvas in front of you, right? And we all do. always. And sometimes we forget that because we can think, well, I've been doing XYZ for 10 years or for 15 years, right? How do I make that change and shift? And there are many healers and educators and light workers that, like Tracy Trimble, who's coming on tonight. She shared in the podcast, if you remember, she said it quickly. She was the vice president for years of one of the most well-known beer companies. Okay. Seriously, that's a very big job to turn away from, right? And that speaks to how when our soul, we came here, each one of you came here. And when I say this, I mean this with all of my heart, all the love that can flow through me. Every single one of you here came here built perfectly. There is nothing wrong with any part of you. There's nothing wrong with your mind. There's nothing wrong with your body. There's nothing wrong with any part of you. Because you came built perfectly to manifest and be what you came here to be and offer and share and give to the world. How do we discover what that is? It's like, what's my purpose? It's so simple. It's not easy. It's so simple. We must follow one step at a time where our passion, our inspiration, and our enthusiasm is. And all we're up against is the mind that thinks and doubts and perhaps other people's perceptions or opinions or should'ry. And oftentimes that can come from the family unit, right? From the family structure, all innocently. Like my father, oh my Lord, it was so hard for him to have me as a daughter because he was in the world of safety, assurance. He was in the world of insurance and actuary stuff and data and live your life for long-term stability and safety. And I'm like, woohoo, spirit world, rocks, minerals, the birds, mediumship, coaching, right? All the things. He was like, oh, it was like his worst nightmare. And we have to say yes at all costs to what our soul yearns for. Otherwise, we feel ourselves slowly, that light just gets dimmer. The degree of suffering, the bigger the suffering is, it matches the amount of time we spend not doing what our soul came here to express itself through us as. I can promise you that so much of our pain and suffering is because we have reasons for why we can't do the things that really call to us, or we don't know how we're going to earn a living collecting heart rocks or, translating what the animals are thinking and saying. Or communing, bringing messages of the trees, the unicorns, or the fae. Right? Like, or being a dragon trainer. How do you make a living doing that? Like, it's all connected to something bigger. The greatest courageous act each of you could make is saying yes to what lights you up. Now, sometimes that means don't quit your day job. But it does mean start immersing in what you love. Do it on the side, do it on weekends, offer it to people for free, right? So make those transitions. For quite some time when I was teaching Montessori, and then training teachers how to teach, I was on the side and after hours and at 4:30 in the morning, training myself in these other modalities that I knew I wanted to evolve in. And why I stayed where I was, this is where I really learned to be 100% behind my yeses. My heart yearned to be doing something else. And every day when I went to work, I summoned my 100% yes. And I got present to what is this fulfilling? What intention really matters to me right now? What's my highest value? And at that point, my highest value as a single mom was that I can support my child. And at that point, actually my children, myself, that I didn't need any help, that I could just make it. I wasn't reliant on anyone. And that I knew how much income would come in, that there was no stress financially. We just had enough. And that was what I valued. So I stayed in that work while I was cultivating these other skills and trusting my enthusiasm, my passions, and workshops, and then trainings, and then having a one-on-one guides, right? When I was in those squeezy chapters of shadow work. So it doesn't mean quit your day job. Or it might, right? So that's why you'll never catch me advising. I will share options because it's always up to you. You could have two people on a very similar journey. And for one person, the right next step is quit your day job. For this person, it might be absolutely do not quit your day job, right? So we never want to advise people. We want to invite you to really like feel into what's your highest value. What next steps would really align you with that. So my point is, you are built perfectly to embody and live what brings you the most joy and delight, has you feel connected to what you really are, has you also offering your unique talents and gifts out to the world, which in turn is guaranteed to be useful for others and bring you the prosperity, right? It's a really perfect design. And the key is to have the courage to take those next steps and stop focusing on the how or the why. What is this going to get me? It doesn't owe you anything. It's an honor to allow spirit to move through you, to live through you and guide you and help you to, like this beautiful clay that you are, to become. We're in the journey of becoming. That's my kiddo. Hi.
Thank you, sweetie. Let me answer Carla. Carla says why it's about money. This is supposed to be free for people to find practitioners. Absolutely, Carla. So we do have that. Let me explain a little bit more about what we've put together that's completely free, because so far we've been focused a little bit extra on membership because there's so many offerings. So what the membership supports, those who are in there, are two different free offerings. We do have a free website for people to find practitioners, no cost whatsoever. There are almost 300 practitioners on our public website. And I'm going to share that link here, the two links. And then we have, so divinate.com is a public website where people can come find practitioners. So that's totally free. And practitioners can also get a silver or a gold listing, which has a fee and lets them do so much more. It can become their entire website, actually, on divinate.com. And then in the community, Carla, it's also free. We have a free side that also is supported by membership, and that has incredible, great content. It's got replays, it's got live streams. We're just going all out to bring everything we possibly can to support the community, to support really the metaphysical services industry, to bring a level of legitimacy and professionalism to this, while still allowing the heart and the light that's there to flow through. So it's so beautiful. And so those of you who are joining us on membership, thank you, and never any pressure. We just wanted to tell you about it because there's so much incredible stuff on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely free to choose. Yeah, awareness affords you choice. So if I don't know about something, I can't opt in or opt out. Say like, no, thank you. This is plenty for me. I'm getting everything I want from the groups, and I'm not interested in anything more. It's perfectly wonderful. And for those of you that are like, wow, I don't know where to start on my healing journey. What we can say is that there are very qualified, skillful healers and guides and educators within the platform. And Soren, I think I'm on the same page with you. There is, everyone here is, we are tasked to follow our unique path and calling. Some of us are here to be in this arena and to help others that are in this arena in this way with us, family, friends, so I agree with you. We have to follow the path that we're called to live, and to be in the world exactly where we're called to be. And let's do it awake. Let's be awake with our choices. That's all. Nobody here wants to be in a fake society with a daily job unless, that's your calling. I have a really dear family member who is a very, very awake individual. And this always moves me to tears. And you don't have to agree with this or disagree. I'm not really even seeking, your opinion, but I'm just present to the heart and the uniqueness of his choices. And he took a job to be in service to those who are underserved and chose to go down the route. He did not want to receive a medicine and chose to do that so he could be in full service in society. It's a 9-to-5 job, paid. And this was an entrepreneur, free spirit, like much like you, Soren, who's like, he's like, I'd love to live in a community out in the woods, right? Yet his heart and his dharma and his karma said, this is where I'm supposed to be. So there's nothing more important than each of us feeling. You see, healing is also about having a regulated nervous system. It's very difficult to connect to that loving, wise guidance inside, whether you consider that guidance soul guides, team of guides, your soul is communicating with you, your higher self, or your heart. We're here to connect with what is my dharma, my purpose, what is my path. And for those that, Kat, you said, I don't even know what my passions are. Oftentimes we can rewind back to childhood and go back and remember what did I love? What brought me like joy, enthusiasm, sparkliness? It's not unusual to go back in our childhood. At 10, I was the person in school. I'm 51, so our technology was a phone connected to the wall with the long coily phone cord. Okay. I was the kid at 10 on the phone with my friends, listening to their problems. Right. So like fast forward, that's a big part of my job is counseling and spiritual mentorship now. So I loved that then, like almost more than anything, and nature. So of course my healing work also evolved to really integrate nature. So we can often find in our childhood big glimmers of what we really, really loved. All right.
Wonderful. Carla, absolutely. There are tons of free offerings, 100%. 100%. Yeah, both the public website and the community website they have a half that's free and then a half that supports the free. Absolutely. Yeah, we're fully committed to that vision.
Yeah, and if there are lots of practitioners that come through on Laura's podcast that have offerings, and it's up to you. Sometimes if you feel called to explore a practitioner, then you feel called. If you don't, you don't. All of this is free here on the podcast, and there's plenty of free in the membership. So complete free choice here.
So Daniela, so as you're covering here for Laura for the next few days, who's coming? What can be expected in this time slot?
Well, we have Lauren coming back to share some more from the Radiant Sutras. Some of you really enjoyed hearing a little bit more of, Lauren's been teaching meditation for over 50 years, and his joy of joys is to help people fall in love with meditation, to really find the delight in it. So he'll be back. I think Jakob will be back with vocal sound healing. Michael will be back. Ron will be back. We have some really, really lovely guests coming up in the next 10 days, and we'll keep it short. Okay. So like we stayed on with longer than we intended already this morning. We just wanted to connect with you and share about some of the offerings that are coming up this week, here free, over on the free side of membership, and on the paid side.
Thank you all. Thanks for your attention this morning. What a pleasure to connect and to meet and to dive into some of these topics. It's really, really good to be together.
Yeah. So we wish you a beautiful day. Okay. Clear. Mwah.
Thank you, everyone. All set, Daniela?
Yeah.
Good for now. All right. To be continued.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, friends.
Great
All
day.
right. Have a beautiful day.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.